No.
I added something to the trailer here because we need to encourage everybody to come on the show. I added my email address on the trailer. Every time it goes by, it has my email address.
Well, good.
Yes.
So I've been up since 6 because I wasn't sure. The lady that did hyperbaric yesterday, she's older. She canceled out because she took the shot and she wasn't feeling good. So they said she might cancel out today. And if so, they'd like for me to come in at 9. But my mom had to take a, I don't know, some kind of test on her kidneys and heart at 8:30. So I had to have Darren come down from Ozark to take her, because even if I could have got her there, and once I do the hyperbaric chamber, you're in there. Oh man, you're in there about an hour.
Yes.
And I didn't feel too good today. I got up at 6 because I thought, well, I need to get some food in my body before I go do that, but I didn't. And I've been in there a little bit, and they can get a phone and talk to you. And I said, I'm kind of having trouble breathing. It's almost like, wow, you need to burp, but you can't. And I'm laying in there. Then my stomach got to growling and yelling at my brain, going, "We want out of here. We want out of here."
Right.
And so I knocked on the window and I go, whatever the symbols are for, I think I have to do the restroom.
Right.
But they can't, the only way they can get you out of there is they have to count it down 15 minutes.
Wow.
To let the air normal back, or it can mess up your lungs. So I kept telling them, how long? Then finally I gave them the signals for, this is too much information, but I had to give them the signals, too late.
Right.
And so we got it shut down. So I did a half of a session today. Jeez, that wasn't no fun. And I apologize. I said, it's not the first time it's happened. And my doctor today, he said he's really proud of me. He said, I've been doing everything he's asked of me. I'm in there getting this thing well. And even whenever they switch the times up on me, and he said, boom, you come right in and you get it done. So he said, I just wanted to tell you, I really appreciate you're a good patient to work with.
That brings us to a good point, because we had multiple people that want to know how you were injured. And so let's talk about your injury, because let's reset the clock and talk about your injury.
Well, it was, I'll never forget that night. I was standing there on a bridge with Garth Brooks, and a truck came by and hit him. And as he was flying off the bridge, I dived and caught him.
So nice.
And saved him. And
what's the other idea?
Wait a minute. That was It's a Wonderful Life. Never mind. No, you can get, I guess these are called, I'll try to do this all short. If you get a sore on your foot or your toe or somewhere, it's called an ulcer, which has to do with your blood sugar being too high and amounts of sugar building up in a certain area. I had diabetes for something like 10 years, but my doctor in Nashville took me off of medicine, not even a year into it, because I was keeping all my numbers down. Like he said, you're drinking 10 soda pops a day and eating 4 donuts and a pizza. And he goes, man, you just get out of whack on sugar.
Right.
And so for all these years, I just been keeping track of the sugar on my own. Well, I moved here and we tried to open a business with my boogie heads and recording studio to sing your own favorite songs. And we ended up in a bad area in Branson. I mean, it was just, it was a rundown area, and the only people coming there were somebody looking for a wooden birdhouse or something. They didn't even look at ours was all technical, something like, it was called Boogie Heads. Walt Disney World has it, and so it was way too advanced for the area we had it in, but the price was right. Darren was supposed to be here helping me, and he went back to Tennessee because he was trying to figure out where he was going to move here. So I was stuck out in this place every day trying to run this thing, and with no people stopping at it. So what I'm getting at, I was drinking energy drinks and eating sugar cookies and just trying to stay awake.
Sure.
Well, all the stress and putting all that extra sugar in my body and everything. One day I was sitting on my rear end and just pushing a big long crate, and I just wear tennis shoes with no socks in the summer. And I guess that shoe with my heel in it, as I would shove, it would it was almost like sandpaper in there.
Right.
And on both of my heels, it made blisters.
Right.
Well, I'd went and they were trying to treat them and just wrap them and put some ointment on them or whatever. But what they were doing, it wasn't getting done. And so then I went to Springfield to a hospital. And
Right. You're not a big fan of the hospital.
Yeah, mercy me. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Anyway, it was, I never go back. Even if I become a Girl Scout and want to sell cookies, I won't go back there. But it's, no, they, in the first 5 or 6 hours, they looked at that. And the ones on the heels had kind of dried up and were healing, but there's one about the size of your thumb right underneath my ankle.
Okay.
And like they said, you just look like you've been in a motorcycle wreck or something. Look like you got gouged in the side of your foot. So they hooked me up with a wound doctor, and that's what they do, is just work on wounds. But the place in Springfield, the first 7 hours I was there, took me to the operating room and said they were there to cut my leg off.
Yes.
And yeah, and I about died on that one. I said, if I had a bad heart, you could have just threw me in the trash because I would be done. I said, I'm not getting my leg cut off. I'll get 10 different other assessments before I do that.
Right.
And they said, well, what if you get a disease down in your heel and it travels all the way up to your heart and it kills you?
What is all kinds of what ifs is what I say.
Well, yeah, I was like, well, if it starts to do it that, then we'll try to look at other avenues.
Right.
But anyways, so they kept me there for 30 days.
They were ready to cut your leg off that day. And you saved that. That's such a big compliment to your bulls.
Oh, they rolled me down there, and they said, you know why you're down here, or do you know where you're at? They go, you're in the operating room. I said, wow, that's kind of fast. I just checked in last night. They go, well, you signed paperwork with a doctor and a nurse to take your leg off above your knee. They go, do you want us to just tear those orders up? I go, no, I want to see my signature on those orders. And they wouldn't do it. So they ended up taking me back to my room, and then my smart donkey hind end doctor came in that he said, well, it's never going to heal. Because it's never going to heal. Right. It's going to get infection. It's going to travel up through your leg and get your kidneys and your heart, and it will just kill you.
Worst case scenario entirely.
I said, well, we're going to, I said, I'm a good Christian guy, and I'm friends with the guy upstairs. We're on the same ball team, and we've discussed it, and I'm keeping my leg, period. And so this guy, I was on a money situation. He was going, well, where's my hand? Oh, he goes, whenever you get the money together, we'll let you out of here.
Right.
And I was there 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah. And I got treated terrible while I was there. They stuck me on dialysis.
Right.
And the guy goes, well, I guess we're going to be doing 3 days a week dialysis. I went the next week. I did 3. I went the next week. He goes, we're just going to cut that back to 2.
Right.
And then when I went down there to do 1, he goes, that's all we're going to do. He goes, we're not going to do any more of this because he goes, it's stupid that you're down here. You don't need to be down here. So somebody gave him orders to hook me up with dialysis stuff. And I said, I've never had any problems like that.
Right.
So he undid it all and got me out of that. And it was 30 days of my life. I didn't feel fresh air or see sun daylight or anything. And it was, so that's what it was. And now there's people that will get these ulcers and they turn really bad, and where maybe like a toe on your foot ends up just crumbling.
Yes.
I mean, it's where they have to.
Right.
Now, even my wound doctor, after he worked on me some here in Dr. Mall, and he's awesome. And, he has a little flashlight looking in my foot, and he looks up at me and he goes, well, I'm here to tell you, what you've done is save your foot and your leg. He goes, we're not going to be cutting anything off. It's all healing good. So that's, and he likes me, he likes me a lot. And this baric chamber thing I'm in is a hydrobaric. That's like the shizzle manizzle of trying to heal things.
Right.
And
it's working currently. Isn't it working?
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, they yesterday and today they took Q-tips and went down in the sore.
Right.
And they scrape it all and they see if they get, I don't know, too much information, but see if they get blood or just juicy stuff. Stuff that's not healing into a solid. It's just down there. And the last 2 days they're not getting any of it. Of course, I'm taking antibiotics too. It was funny because the doctors always got these big names that scare you. I had to go to the infectious disease physician.
Right.
And, well, what it was, I might have some infection down there by my bone.
Right.
But infection's disease. But she said, nah, what I want to give you is antibiotic, and we'll just kill any of that down there, any of the infection. It'll kill it, which is quite different than, well, let's just cut your leg off.
Yes, exactly.
And she said, are you allergic to anything? And I said, penicillin. She goes, oh, that's the main one I wanted to give you.
Right.
I go, well, I was a little kid, I used to swell up when I was a little bitty. I don't care. We can try it. Try it again. If I swell up, I swell up. Now I've got two others you can take, and I think they will do the same thing. Okay. And plus, in the first day in the hydraulic
hyperbaric.
That thing, yeah.
Hyperbaric.
Everybody needs to look that up and see what that is.
Right.
But they slide you in there, and you're like a fish in an aquarium.
Right.
But and you can't. There's not a lot of room to move.
Right.
And first day I was in there, I got out of it, and your ears pop like you're going up or down in an airplane. But all of a sudden, my left ear never popped. It wouldn't pop. It wouldn't pop. So they called to have me see an ear specialist. And that was on Tuesday, but he was out all week, so I could come and see him Monday.
Yes.
And he was a real nice guy. And all they do, this is one of the things that happen with these things sometimes. And once again, medical terms, everything, it just sounds scary.
Right.
To go in and poke holes in your eardrums.
Yes.
But they said they put a little tube that's the size of the end of an ink pen, real little, and it goes in both of them, and it lets the pressure, you don't have to yawn and all, it just automatically does it, moves the pressure. And they said, you have them for a while, and they go, you might have them a month, 2 months, 6 months, they just basically dissolve and fall out or disappear. And I said, is there any danger of my hearing and everything? He said, no. He said, you haven't had any hearing problems, have you, in your life? I go, other than playing music. And now I say huh a lot, but that's just because I have selective hearing. He's
Hey.
laughing. He's like, we'll just do it right now. Okay. Here, now this one little thing, I'm gonna stick a needle in it. It's gonna hurt. 3, 2, 1. Ow! And so but that was done. So all I've went through trying to get these things done is just, and this has been going on since September 1st.
Yes, because I was trying to call you during that time and I could not get a hold of you. It was a long time and you would not call me. So that was very unusual. I knew that.
Yeah, I kind of went through a time where I wasn't talking to anybody. And
Right, exactly.
Finally I got the 30 days in the hospital. I had so many people right there tell me that I got done really dirty that,
Right.
and I finally made them let me out. I said, 30 days, I'm done. COVID's right past those 2 doors. Next room down, all that's in between us is 2 wooden doors.
Right.
For all the COVID. And boy, I got out of there. And they got me out the next day after I threw a hissy. But,
Right.
I don't know, I'm alive. I feel good. Today's, like I said, it's been a rough day because I had to get up early to make sure. Usually if you're hurt or something's wrong with you, you have people that take care of you and you're the one that's injured. But
Right.
mine's just the opposite. I'm the one that's hurt and injured, and I'm the one that has to go get the medicine for mom. I'm the one that has to go get the food. I'm the one that's got to go do this. I'm the one that, oh yeah, I got a doctor's appointment. You got to take me there. So, and she can't do it. So I'm the only one to be able to do it. But yeah, that's just my end of the week. Bringing it up for people. It's, and they say some people get these little ulcer sores, but they say mainly is they don't treat them.
Right.
My doctor told me he has a guy that's probably going to lose a toe,
Right.
because he tells him, keep off of it. Here, I stay on crutches. I don't touch this heel to the ground. And they said he just walks around in shoes like normal. And he said it'll probably just, they'll have to, because the bone will just crumble. And but then to show you the difference in the one hospital where they're, we'll have to cut your leg off.
Right.
My doctor here, it's with Cox, and he said if worst scenario comes, and down in that heel bone, if the antibiotics and everything cannot heal,
Right.
if it cannot get that healed, some of it's still down there. It's kind of laying just dormant down there. It's not really doing anything. But he said, if we have to, we can go down into the heel and cut that little piece of the bone out inside your heel. He said you'd never even notice it. I mean, as soon as that healed up, nobody's going to know you got a little bitty piece of your heel bone cut out.
Different than a leg entirely.
Yeah, and everybody I've told the story to, usually it's somebody says, "Oh, what happened to your foot? If you don't mind if I ask." I go, "Yeah, I'm glad to tell you. This is the way. This is me holding up for myself and not letting the hospital cut my leg off."
Right. Exactly.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh!" I go, "Yeah,
Right.
yeah." So it's I'm tired today. It's cold and gloomy out, and I saw an ad for Mark.
Okay. Sure.
Advertising his come and see the entertainment on the 14th,
Right.
which is this Sunday, which is when that the daughter of George Jones and Tammy Wynette is supposed to be there. But I just saw this right before I got on here. It's a picture of him, and he says, "Come on out to be announced. No telling who the surprise will be." So I bet what's happening, they're not getting any people there.
Exactly.
And I bet she had to have a guarantee
Right.
to come to Branson to do this.
Uh,
So I'd say they probably don't have nothing lined up. I don't know.
exactly. Well, we've got new branding coming tonight, and so I'm very excited for that. And also, the reason why this email address is on here is if you plan on a band with Mike and want to talk with him, email me and get in contact, because we want to have everybody on here to talk about Mike, because he is a fantastic entertainer.
Yeah, I used to be.
You
I
are.
still am. I still am.
And
Because my entertainment thing doesn't. I don't try to be. It just comes natural. The things I do.
I'm watching
And
this, and we've got the most viewers we've ever had. This thing, it's going up. It's working. Everything we're doing is working. I'm telling you, it's doing it.
Well, it's I've got different people that's written me, and they go, "Oh my gosh, are you back in entertaining again?"
Right.
They all thought just because I moved here that I quit.
Sure.
Well, I didn't really quit. I mean, it's just I was trying to figure out what we were doing when this foot thing hit. I never dreamed getting this thing fixed. It takes 6 months, 7 months.
I'll tell
But
you.
that's okay. I told my doctor, I don't care.
Right. Get it right and get it done and keep the foot. That's the key.
Yeah, I've had people say, well, if they cut your leg off, you can get one of those fake ones. They look nice. Well, yeah, I don't want a fake one. I want mine.
Right. Well, original parts.
Me and my leg has been, I could tell a lot of stories where me and that leg has been, which I won't.
Let's not. But let's
No.
spend the last few minutes of the show talking about the plans for You're the Ticket. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm not sure what the plans are. It's a phenomenal idea that I dreamed up in my 30 seconds I get in between each subject I'm talking about. and so I've actually stuck with this for a long time.
Right. Exactly. And I stick with it too, because I'm going to stick you to it, hold you to it, because it's such.
This will be somewhere.
It will be.
If for some reason we don't get to do it, it'll be somewhere around the country, and we'll say, well, there it is. Entertainment business here in Branson, everybody wants to be a family, or a few people, and hire a bunch of people to work for them, and
right.
Everybody's got a stage show with a couple of acts. And that's what I was saying when I got interviewed by that Mark guy, and I played my little washboard for him. He's like, well, that's different.
Right.
I thought it no more than I expected you to hear. You're out trying to do a one-man act,
right,
on a stage. What's the difference? I can do that, but I'm out trying to do something that's never been done.
Exactly.
And actually, and when it's accomplished, the people won't look at me necessarily and say, wow, man, that's pretty cool what you got. They'll look and say, wow, You're the Ticket is cool. That's a cool place. And
your idea is cool. Definitely. Your idea is cool.
Well, I think it can.
Numbers is going up. Even as we're talking, it's going up. It's very fantastic to watch this.
I think it can get. Okay, Nashville is Music City.
Right.
But Branson is some type of music city. And I think it gives tourists, young and old, grandmas and grandpas, not only all of them, but get a chance to see their family, get the chance to go, what if you go home with your DVD and go, you're not going to believe this. This is little Sally and Jim. And this is them. They actually got to perform on the stage in Branson.
Right.
They actually, they knocked them dead. Yeah, they knocked them dead. And it's a variety. I mean, come on, there's a lot of tourists come here, and there's a lot of shows, and it's and every year there's not too much new stuff. It's most of the stuff you've already seen.
Sure.
And I have all kinds of ideas. I ideas.
You definitely
My
did all kinds of ideas.
no, my neighbor Greg Presley. I told him, let me show him this sometime, and he said, "Oh yeah." In the Presley show, one of his brothers plays a lot of lead guitar, and he's in the middle of it all a lot of the time. Greg stands over at the side and plays harmonica. Yeah, so kind of like you've heard harmonica, you've heard it. So this is a company that's called Big Six.
Okay.
And these are very good harmonicas.
Okay.
And this is how big it is. Oh, where's the camera? Right here.
Oh yes, very.
That's the whole thing. This little bitty thing right here, and it's like a, and it just has a few of these, but it's made real professional. Some of these guys I know that do the blues stuff with the cigar box.
Yes.
They do one of these with the thing around your neck because they don't want to be some super duper harmonica player. They just want to be filling in the pieces that need to be. And I told Greg, man, this would be a good thing in your guy. This is how I think all the time. I told you, man, what a cool thing in your show. If you got done and they said, hey, that was Greg Presley on the harmonica playing right there. And then him say, but wait a minute, you haven't seen nothing yet. And he pulls that out and they go, well, that looks like nothing to us. No, this is a full-fledged harmonica here. And they laugh at him, and then he takes that little bitty thing and does it. Right off the bat, you got tons of people at that show that's going, oh my gosh, I never saw anybody do that before. I didn't even know they made a harmonica that little.
Exactly.
And they're professional harmonica. I think this was about it's $35 or $45 just for this little thing. And I'm real basic on it, but I just that's another reason You're the Ticket is going to be cool, because I sit and think about everything else that can make it cool other than me, other than what I want to do to make it cool. I mean, I tell people my washboard thing is very cool. And I, being asked to be on America's Got Talent, not having to audition, got invited to it, and was at the show in Pigeon Forge and the American DJ Awards in Las Vegas. I mean, this thing draws attention. And I mean, here, whoever wants to call in, I can put it around your neck and teach you how to play it. Exactly. And you draw the attention. Now, it's a regular instrument. There's a lot to play in it where it does good rhythm, but I just think about those things. I look around the area and I think what they don't have here and what they could have, and you blend that in with the rest of You're the Ticket. You're the Ticket. All I can say, if you or your family or anybody you know ever wanted to come to a music town and get up on a stage and play where people paid money to come in and watch you play, this is your deal. And
email address here and talk to me about this thing, because it's all going so well, and want to get this thing big because it's going to be big.
Yeah, I mean, you take Silver Dollar City, they have little shows out there where they pull different people out of the crowd and put them in the show, and they're not necessarily ever entertaining the crowd, but for a lot of people, that was the coolest thing of the show,
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we bought that DVD because Grandpa was up there singing,
Right.
and yeah, it's just.
It's very.
We got our worms on a hook, and it's out there dingling around in the water.
There we go. And now it's deep in rubber. Say goodbye, Mike.
Man, it's going to be goodbye. Okay. It's Friday and I'm tired. I've had a long outgoing day, I might say. Yes.
Okay.